Hello, my amazing artists. We are going to continue our study of Black history with an artist from America. Her name is Alma Woodsley Thomas, and she is known for her paintings of huge, beautiful, bright colors and designs and patterns. She's known for something called a color field, and a color field is a lot like what it sounds like. If you were out in a field of flowers and you saw colors everywhere from all of those blooming flowers, that is a color field. But she made it on canvas with paint, and we're going to start a project today where we're going to do the same thing. We need to make the background for our picture that we're going to be gluing onto this later. Yes, I said gluing. So today what we're going to do is give this, the background of our picture, one solid color. We don't want it to be many colors at all because we're going to be gluing many colors on top. And if we make it all colors and then all colors on top, it will be very hard to see the design that you make on this later because it'll just be colors mixed in, mixed up, and there won't be any sort of visual organization to it, which is what a color field picture needs. So you're learning how to make a very interesting kind of art, contemporary art. Let's begin. Grab your paintbrush. Hopefully it's nice and wet. I want for you to activate the color that you want to use. Now, if you want to get fancy, you could use more than one color, but listen to how I explain it. You're going to mix them together before you put them on your paper. I'm going to show you how. So I'm adding water to my purple and my red. I'm letting the colors activate. While the water's sitting in there, getting the color oval nice and soft to use, I'm going to put water all over my whole picture. So here we go. Start with your brush. This will take a little bit of time, and just go one section at a time with your brush, putting water everywhere on the whole picture. Do you remember why we do this? There's a reason we do this. I'll give you a hint. A sponge. Can you think of why a sponge might have something to do with putting water everywhere? All right. The reason it's like a sponge is because water on paper is going to absorb really fast. And if it's your paint, you know, the water with the color in it, well, it's going to soak right into the spot wherever your brush touches super, super fast. And then you can't spread it around. And that doesn't leave you with very much control over what you're doing. But if you make your paper all wet first, then the paint will sit on top of the water that's in your paper. And then you can move the paint around. Now, I know your picture's curling up. Mine's curling up too. That's okay. Use your hand. It's fine. It's just clean water, right? Just put your hand on it, hold it down. You might actually have to add some water where your fingerprints go because fingers absorb water too. Alrighty, don't worry about your paper for right now. Let's make some paint. So I'm going to show you how to make some paint. We add water first. This is like a recipe for cooking or baking. Step 1, add some clean water to one of the compartments in the tray lid of your watercolors. That's what this is for. That's why they divide it into sections with these little plastic walls. Okay. Now, we do not want this color to be very dark. So I'm going to take just a little touch, a little bit of red, mix it in. Come to my purple, little bit of purple, mix it in. Now I have to be the judge. Is that color that I want? I actually want it to be a little more purple. So I add some more. And now I'm happy. So make your color, and then when you're done making your color, we'll do the next step. So pause here if you need to make your color. Okay, now we're going to add our color to our background. So pick up your brush with some paint on it, Make sure your picture background is still really nice and wet. You might be thinking that my paint is not dark enough, but this is actually exactly what I want. I don't want it to be really dark. And if I feel like it's not spreading around and it's going to make stripes with the paint, quickly add clean water, and that will help it move around. Don't paint on top of where you've already painted. Always go to a new spot. And if you feel like your paper is kind of dry, like I do from making my paint, I feel like my paper dried out a little bit, I'm going to add some clean water to it. It's okay to add more. It'll be okay. As long as you're not aggressively scrubbing the paper and digging the brush into it, then it should be fine. It's not going to break your paper or tear it. Okay, so I just did this side of my paper. I'll flip it around so you can see the other side a little bit better. And, oh, need some more water. Keep adding clean water. And then add your paint, and it will slide and glide over really easily. I hope you're having fun doing this. Watercolors are always so fun and challenging to work with, but I know you're doing a great job. And if you're enjoying yourself, then that's part of this too. Art should be enjoyed. And I hope you're happy with the color that you made as well. It'll be so fun to see what everyone's different backgrounds are going to turn out to look like. Okay. So if you have any extra paint, you can go ahead and add it. You can use up your extra paint, add it to places where you think that it might need a little bit more because it didn't turn out with enough color. Make sure you're spreading it around enough, and make sure that you add water if it gets too dark. Then know when to stop. A good artist knows when to say that's enough and leave it alone. And now you've just completed the first step, so great job. I look forward to working with you on the next step for this project. I'll see you soon.